We talk about the Lions and Dan Campbell and creating culture. And it's a weird word when you create cult. Do you know how to create culture?
I think culture is something that is manifested. I think it takes time. It's creating a building where you'd like to think that you walk in there, there's a selflessness about it. There's also a sense of purpose about it. There's a trust that exists, and you're able to kind of give ownership to the players to oversee the locker room. And I think that's when you know you've gotten to that level. But the culture is about being real, being transparent, about holding people accountable. And you're in there for one purpose. When you walk in there, leave your ego at the door, and we're all in this thing together.
When did the hatred for the Ravens start? Or, well, both ways here.
Yeah, I mean, when they moved from Cleveland to Baltimore, I just called them the Browns. I mean, they can call themselves the Ravens, but I call them the Browns.
Wow.
And they're the same team that were up the turnpike. We just got to go. We're going to go east instead of going north. But they're still the same team we don't like. They're still the same team we take very personal with. And so, then it probably happened right around that 2000 era when Ray Lewis came in and started doing the dance. And then we were going back and forth with the division at that time. And I think that's the real rivalries are kind of bred. You know what, Dan? It's like when you are both fighting for that division and you find yourselves on top, and then we were both kind of identically built. It was about kind of a run the football, play defense, impose yourself on the other team. And we kind of took pride in that physicality part of the game. And I think the early 2000s, that was absolutely identified, and that's what that game was all about.
You don't strike me as a coach who would allow his players to be dancing like Ray Lewis did to open up a game.
Well, we didn't dance, but we talked a lot. I think we had a lot of guys that like to get the last word in. Joey Porter was never was lost for words on the field.
But you were okay with that.
Yeah, I wanted edgy players. I didn't mind
Okay.
having edgy players. I always said my job as a coach is for you to walk that line of being that almost arrogant, almost like supreme, and feel you're the best person on that field. And when you cross the line, my job is to pull you back. Where do you cross the line? When you disrespect the game, you disrespect the opponent, or you disrespect a teammate. And that's dancing or doing something that's in someone's face. So I said, just as long as you respect the game, walk that line. And sometimes I felt like guys were almost too safe, too cautious, didn't want to make a mistake. And I said, if I don't pull you back periodically, you're not walking the line close enough. So I kind of encouraged them to get to be a little bit of a swagger when we walked on that field.